In this video I'll be building another junk PC that will have most of its parts gotten for free from different sources. Some parts like the GPU, however, will be from Facebook Marketplace or similar places where you can find some used parts for cheap. This PC will be built in a old Antec case with its included old power supply, and it'll have an AMD Phenom 2 X4 CPU, HD7770 graphics card, and 8 GB of RAM. I'll be also including a cheap SSD from AliExpress and additional storage, providing old laptop HDD. Initially I tried to install a different Phenom X4 and I realized that there's those CPUs for different sockets apparently, so I needed to use another one. Due to this ASUS HD7770 being quite an old card, I replaced its thermal paste with some GD900. The CPU heatsink I'm using here is originally from a HP OEM PC, and I had a problem with it and this Asrock motherboard. It would always keep the CPU fan at 100% and it was very loud. I needed to upgrade the BIOS to the latest and in fact to a beta version, only that allowed to set the CPU fan speed properly. I put 4 2 GB RAM sticks in this, and they were Elpida RAM. One of them was from a different set, but it didn't matter. Despite the different timings, it showed up as dual channel without any hassle. The case had this adapter to mount a smaller 2.5-inch drive, and I used it to mount both of the drives. This Weijinto SSD is, I think, refurbished or something. You can get this off AliExpress quite cheap. By default, this case had no intake fans, all were set as exhaust, so I moved one of the fans from rear exhaust to front intake fan. This case has quite a good cable management for an older case. However, it's almost impossible to mount any RGB lights, strips or fans or similar in this case. I have another one of these which I'll be using for another build with better parts. I didn't run many benchmarks for this PC because I recently made another video about exact same specs, so I'll link that one in the description. If you have any questions about this build, I try always to answer to all the comments.